All right, all right, all right. We'll give it a minute just for people to filter on in,
Yeah.
and also we will see if both of us sound about the same because I have you on desktop audio right now, so hopefully that
Gotcha.
works. We'll give it a minute.
Sounds good.
Just let us know if you can hear both Chimmy and I clearly right now. I know that that
I
has some
should
issues
should
sometimes.
I should probably say words so I can be
Good
clear
idea.
and audible and
Good idea. Clear as mud. Thank you, Chimmy. Very cool. Chimney sounds good. Okay. I know I was having some audio
Cool,
issues the other
cool.
day. Do I sound good right now, Skinwalker? Relatively speaking. Yeah.
Nice.
Okay. Cool. Well,
Audio mixing is a nightmare, but we've dodged that bullet.
is that an AI logo? It was not created by me. That is all I'll say. Let's get straight into it, Jimmy.
Diving in. We got the Sandstorm and the Cherry Blossoms today. Both teams I think are I think it's a very hard judge to see. It's like, who's gonna win, right? Because I think both of these teams have extremely strong players and good points of strength in each
Seeding
of these
wise, it
roles.
is the most even as it is the number
Hmm.
4 versus number 5 seed. Let's go straight into the rosters.
Absolutely.
Out of the solo lane, a brand new first time All Star, number 1 in mitts, top 5 in damage, and top 10 in assists. Known as the cute mute pair emoji, it's Shiny Jupiter! And take a look, read him and weep at that God pool.
That's not a god pool. That's a god ocean.
Oh yeah. And there is, of course, a difference between somebody who plays a god for one time, gets rocked, and then never plays it again. If I remember correctly, a lot of those one-time played characters she performed very well on. A lot of those have W's attached to them. I think, of course,
Absolutely.
some of the most dangerous ones she has are the Cucullin, Achilles, and maybe the Terra, I would say. Of course,
I
I will not attach the win and loss record of each of these characters to the stream. I'm not doing free scouting for these enemy teams.
Nope. I do want to say I think Shiny Jupe's Vamana has also put in quite a lot of work and yeah, we can jump into who is this Sandstorm jungler.
The jungler, a one-time champion back in season 3, a two-time all-star, and a one-time player of the week. Number 1 in deaths this season and top 5 in kills, top 10 in damage. You know what that means? That's a formula for getting in there and nobody getting out. It is the captain of the Egyptian Sandstorm, Musi.
Another one with I think a pretty wide god pool, but going to that Hunbat regularly. Same with the Cabrakan, the Ravana, and the Lance. All very strong junglers right now. And probably will be things to just be wary of because goodness gracious, Moosey can be devastating in some games, right?
This is one of the cases where a lot of the god pool is forced because of picks and bans, because some of her most infamous characters are right here. I She would play Circuit more often if it didn't get
Hmm.
banned. Of
Every
course, you
single
always got to
fucking game.
watch out for Lance, Hunbats
Hmm.
especially. I think that Hunbats
Oh
is
yeah.
probably one of her most up to date and current junglers to watch out for.
Oh, absolutely.
And getting into the mid of the Sandstorm, a two-time player of the week just in this season. Number 1 in damage, number 2 in KDA, 5 in kills, and 10 in assists. MVP runner-up this season, it's Taco! My goat.
Absolutely vicious mid laner right here. MVP runner up, right? You see this, like they're a strong, strong player. That Cleo has done a lot of work, but that E-set, that new wall has just been absolutely obliterating the competition.
It's not often you see an MVP runner up on the number 4 seed, and very often when you see somebody play Nuwa 4 times, it comes with the slander of haha low skill god. And then you see Taco play it, and there's a reason that slander is completely absent when you watch it. It is just tactical evisceration of the enemy mid laner. And it's honestly, it's not just by pure aggression. Even if Taco is totally equivalent in farm at like the level 13 mark, you go, okay, my mid laner is doing fine. This ain't that bad. Taco overrated. And then you look away for 2 minutes, and this man has rotated halfway around the entire world and has a 3 level lead. And a lot of that is because of the mobility of some of these characters. You have Ra, Cleo. Cleo always, a back to the wall pick of mid laners in feisty situations, but I swear it always works. And Taco is one of the best manipulators of that character. Going
Absolutely.
into the support, a returning player has played, I think, maybe 3 full seasons, was number 3 in assists this season. It's ya boy Potter, 403.
And he has been going to that Kepri a lot to a
Back to
lot
the
of for
well.
a lot of success. A lot of success. And I think he's a very strong support generally, right? Like you can never be too mad about having Potter on your team. Like he will get in there and he'll do his damnedest. And that Ymir,
I
it's I think it shocked quite a few people that his Ymir at times.
I think his Ymir can definitely catch people off guard. I will say that there comes a point where when a character is let through for 9 games in a season, it's often because the other teams are okay with playing against it. Most teams are okay with playing against a Kepri because there's ways to work around it, both against Potter's playstyle and the god itself with executes. I would not be surprised, especially seeing how Potter has played Kepri 4 times in the last 2 or 3 sets. Would be very shocked to not see that locked in today as well. And then the
Absolutely.
ADC for the Sandstorm, Tess.
Going to that Hachi quite a lot. And you know what?
Mm-hmm.
Don't blame him. Hachi's a great pick. Same with the Xbalanque, and I think we've seen Tess pull off some very frustrating player to get player to play against, right? Because they know how to strategize around lanes and everything.
Tess is the fullback of
Hmm.
ADCs. You need 5 yards, Tess will give you 4. You need 2 yards, Tess will give you 4. It's impossible. It's so hard to gap Tess, even if you think you have a better ADC, because they'll just play Hachi and be like, no. What do you mean you have a lead? Nope, you're not getting a level lead on me. I'm
No,
playing Hachimon. And
exactly.
it's a very solid way to play the game. I'm a pretty big fan of it, just a bulwark style out of the dual lane. And that is the roster of the number 4 seed in this set. Moving over to the Japanese Cherry Blossoms, the number 5 seed. Out of the solo lane, a returning player who managed to rack up top 10 in damage mitigated, basically a tank stat. We have Tip Top Journeyman.
Been seeing him do quite a lot of very consistent work this season. Been a very strong player, great solo laner, and again, just another player willing to get in there, do what a solo laner does best.
Yeah, I think that the colon is immaculate. I'm a huge fan
Hmm.
of Tip Top Journeyman's colon, especially. I would be very surprised if this is not a highly contested pick, both because both solo laners play it, but it is very strong generally. And the jungle, a new player to the league, traded mid-season from the Valhalla Vanguard, flexes between jungle and support, and the god pool is going to reflect that. It is Scopy.
He's been playing quite a good few gods here, right? Seeing a pretty wide pool. I think he's been doing pretty well.
There's a solid variety. There would be more here,
Hmm.
except Scopy got subbed out like I think 3 or 4 sets. So that's the disparity because as you can see, only one time
Right.
playing the same character twice. So Scopey definitely has a god pool. I think the Fenrir support definitely had a very solid game. And Fenrir is a
Hmm.
uniquely counterpick god that can shut down a lot of things, especially if you're confident that the enemy's support is not playing something that can run absolution, like Kepri, or is confident in their
Right.
absolution timing. I think Fenrir could be very good this game. And then the mid for the Cherry Blossoms, 2-time player of the week, #1 in damage, #2 in KDA, 5 in kills, and top 10 in assists. MVP runner up this season. Well, that's not correct. Sorry, folks. Something got mixed around here. This is not
We
a bit.
have
This is not a bit.
Ninja Lol
This is not.
5.
This is not a bit. That was not a bit. My apologies. Scratch the top part. The god pool is correct. This is my girl, captain of the Japanese Cherry Blossoms, Ninja Lol 5. And I gotta say, for all of the jokes about she only plays Scotty and Neith, there's a lot of other gods on this. I
Yeah,
swear,
there's
I swear that
there's
was not a bit. I
Afro,
started reading
Disco,
that and I was like, this
Whoa.
sounds like tacos. This definitely got copied over from tacos. My apologies. My bad. My bad. I wish I had done that on purpose, but no, I did not. I think the Nuwa has been very solid for Ninja as well this season. The Yu Huang was a bit of a out of left field pick for me, but I really liked it. And then the Afro has been
Hmm.
something she's played multiple times this season that she didn't really play a whole lot in previous seasons, and it's been solid.
Yep. And in one Neath game.
It's been banned. People keep banning it, but it's like that's
Yeah.
fine. But
New, Neath
she's
is
got other
free
stuff.
damage, but that Nuwa got through 4 times. That is even more free damage.
That is the smite brain, isn't it? It's to go, let's ban Neath because of the free damage, and then allow Nuwa through. Classic.
Yeah. It's like that Nuwa ult is just so much better than a Neath ult in my
And then the
opinion.
support for the Cherry Blossoms, a new player to League, also flexes between jungle and support. A1.
I think he has also been showing up quite hard with not just a giant god pool, but
Mm-hmm.
consistently good as well.
Yeah, I mean, those Fafnir games were something
Hmm.
else. And it's just one of those times where it's the the double edge of god pools like this. On one hand, you're going to always have something to play. On the other hand, you're not going to burn very many enemy teams' bans off of your teammates. You're not going to free up anything for your teammates because what are they going to ban from you here? Probably
Exactly.
Robin. I think that there's actually quite a lot of value in maybe slamming Robin like 4 times in a season to get people to ban it, to let picks for Ninja through, picks for Scopey and
Hmm.
other teammates through. But
Right.
oh my goodness, you cannot be upset with this god pool at all. Just something for everyone.
Absolutely.
And then the ADC, a new all-star and an MVP candidate this season, top 10 in both kills and assists. That is not something you see out of an ADC very often. It is Keltec.
Just such a strong player. That Hu Yi has been doing quite a lot of work.
Mm-hmm. It's been something
Absolutely
nasty.
disgusting. Yeah.
And you
Is
look at all
I feel
these,
like you
and
don't get a
so
lot of
many.
Hu Yi visibility out
You
here.
don't get a lot of Hu Yi Ha at all. I really want a Hu Yi Ha skin
Uh-uh.
to go along with the Sylvanas High New skin. But, I
Oh
mean, you
yeah.
just look at it, every single thing here, oh, Uller, you're scared of in a 1v1. I
Oh
think
yeah.
as good as some of the more prototypical ADCs are, I think Caltech may go for some of the hyper carry 1v1 gods just to break through test defenses and force kills in duo lane to push a lead. But
Oh yeah.
we'll find out shortly. And that is the roster for the Japanese Cherry Blossoms. And then season comparison, 4v5 seed, but the wins are a little bit different. 5-3 versus 3-5 are the records here, with the Sandstorm also getting a win over the #1 seed and about the same amount of subs used over the course of the season for both teams, and pretty much the same momentum. Cherry Blossoms are on a bit of a rough patch to close out the end of the season. We'll see if they can get their momentum back for this set, but it's going to be a tough one.
Absolutely.
And then in their previous set, this is way back in week 3. We're talking about Nuwa. Nuwa won every game in this set. You think it's going to get picked and banned a lot this set? I do. As it went
Yeah.
11-3-20, 9-4-19, and 14-4-12.
There are just some gods that if it's in
There
their
ain't been no
god pool,
patches. There ain't been no patches to change the meta.
nope. If it's in their god pool, ban new wall. Just like cross. It's kind of like an MLF rule, right? It's like if they have an MLF, ban the MLF. I don't care how good it is, get them off of that MLF because it's almost assuredly not just a safe pick, but a comfort pick.
All right, and we are going to get straight into it here. Let me open up Smite real quick for you folks. Oh boy.
This
the
is the
playoffs.
playoffs.
Let's
This
stream
is
Among
the
Us
land.
instead.
Let's go all in.
There's no turning back.
Playoffs? Don't talk about it. Playoffs? You kidding me? Playoffs? I just hope we can win a game.
All right, let's get straight into it. I'm loading up Smite for you, Jimmy. The share screen is gonna work in a second. You know the load time of Smite.
Oh yeah, it's ancient game, so it's got a load time as long as it is old.
Those two audio clips was a Jim Mora interview in a Cleveland Cavaliers playoff hype video. I think I didn't show that to you, Chibi, but the stream heard it, and Skinwalker is very, very confused. Okay, let's get this. Smite, transition. All right, here we go. It's going to throw us pretty much straight into it, I think. We're going to spectate Jupe Jupe, of course.
Yep. They should be, I think they might be through picks and bans, and so got to pause here. Got tip top on that Ravana.
Oh,
I think we
okay,
got
so
a-
the sub for A1. Oh,
Mhm.
is that 2 subs? Okay, let me check this out. Give me a second. Let me
That might be 2 subs. I genuinely don't know at the moment.
give me a second. Assisted. Okay. We got. Okay. That's definitely jungle over here. So it is Jupe solo, of course. Taco mid. Kabrak in jungle. And like I said, Kepri support. Morgan, I called this out in our group chat. I said, Taco, I think you're going to go back to the well with the Morgan because that's one of his like titular picks that he hasn't used this season very often. I was like, I have a feeling you're saving it for the playoffs. And here it is. Oh, that's going to be scary, scary. Now for solo
Morgan
lane,
in the hands of a good player is I don't like it. It should be stopped.
so both Margie and Awan, so the two best players for the Cherry Blossoms are both subbed out. We have Sogno and Free Bowling subbing for them. All right. 2 subs on one team in a playoff set.
How these things go sometimes, sadly.
Cherry Blossoms versus Sandstorm. Just doing the classic typing the names back to get the settings. It looks like there's been a. Let's see here.
What do you? I've been looking at these team comps,
Pardon
right?
DC,
And
sorry, folks.
trying
Yeah,
to
it
think
looks
about
like
who do I which of these comps do I like better currently? And
I think that Ao Kwong is going to have a rough time into the Morrigan. I just think that
Mm-hmm.
and also a Kabrakan. I just think that quick stuns onto an Ao Kwong will be the death of him. Because Ao
I
Kwong is infamously very squishy. I think that
I
Ninja actually
do
should
really
be able to
like
get
this
some
Xing
good
Chin.
damage onto a Kabrakan with all the self roots, but Ninja is going to have
Mm-hmm.
absolutely zero way to get out of Kabrakan walls or Chalk ults. So Ninja's going to die. That is a certainty.
That is,
Free bowling. I don't know how good their support is. They subbed in ADC one time. Okay, Potter's back.
I do
That's
like the Xing
good.
Chin a lot though, but I am also just a Xing Chin, believer.
Jing Chen is only balanced by the people who play him sometimes. I feel like the god just
Mhm.
has so much potential.
He absolutely does. That route is not to be underestimated.
Yep. The carry.
The knock up into a route, the amount of that ult, a well placed Xing Chin ult can peel, can be in a crazy engage.
Now, Sogno is a very good player. I haven't seen them in this league, so I don't know how it's going to be in comparison to Caltech Margie. I mean, it's a completely different duo lane, so we already knew that the Cherry Blossoms were going to have a diff in duo lane. The diff of the diff, I have no idea now.
It will be quite interesting. I think it might be very important for the Sandstorm to be rotating right over onto that duo lane to get an early shutdown, not let this nut get farmed.
Yeah, I hope the Sandstorm focus their early poke onto Nut because focusing early poke onto a Jing Chen is a pitfall with his HP 5.
Mm-hmm. But onto a nut, just preventing that late game damage from coming online so soon.
All right, this is the start of game one of this quarterfinals set. The Arthurian Knights won their set, so whoever wins this will face them in the semifinals. Robin and Chalk already colliding here in solo lane. A good route and disengage already from Tip Top Journeyman.
Ravin just showing why he is always to be feared and always should be banned.
Yep. Chalk is fearless though. Good to carry around and get that reverse poke in. That's the last thing you want to do as a solo laner is take poke and then just let it be for free.
All right. If I'm Shiny Jupiter right now, I'm kind of happy I picked Chalk into this matchup.
Yeah, it should be pretty good. Also, an immune ult for Ao Kwong is always nice. Okay, no deaths at this first engage. We'll see how long that lasts for. Supports both got Shell. Kepri got a Benny B, and Chimmy. Sorry, I always think it's you when I see a Jing Chen. My bad. Free bowling got a War Flag.
I
And it
do
looks
like
there's
that
a gank
skin.
over here on dual lane, on solo lane potentially by the Ao Kwong. Hunting around, but that
That
is a
Ravana
near full
has,
health Chalk. I'm not
yep,
sure if a lot's going to happen here.
just going for that camp. And got a Bracken here deep in the enemy jungle.
Trying to go for this early Tiki, but just misjudged the timer.
Might
But maybe
might
going
be
for
able
the
to
Ao
catch
Kwong
this.
instead,
Yeah,
because
the Ao Kwong seems to have
it can't
sussed
have
him
been a
out.
mistiming because you know this camp is on the same timer as your own, right?
Oh yeah.
Like this has to be calculated, but both junglers know neither mid is disengaging from mid. Kabrakan is just saying using their abilities to get the minis at least. And gets all of it. Kabrakan does
Nice.
get the invade off as delayed as it was. What a very strange invade. But now we see double root here. Ooh, Kepri could get a good pull. It's not going to be
Nice.
long enough though.
Not quite. Yeah.
Good poke by the Morrigan. Man, that's a dangerous time for Ninja
Ooh, that
going up against
Ravana
her
might be in
bestie
trouble.
Taco. Yeah. It's a level 5 Robin. Can always just ult out.
He's just going for that invade. Feeling confident and comfortable enough for it.
Jupe Jupe just swings the axe. Blue camp follows her way. So many invades this game. It's about equaling out so far, though. Cherry Blossoms have a 600 gold lead. Khepri is not going to be the best option about securing this, and he is not able to. The Cherry Blossoms get the purple buff invade. They don't pick it up, though. But the XP is the most important part from a purple camp invade. You have your own after all.
Absolutely.
Let's take a look at the graphs. Just a slight, basically a first blood equivalent. If the Cherry Blossoms are able to get it, though, it might be dangerous. Ooh, Scotty ult and beads in return for Taco showing up. That's what you got to do sometimes. You got to delay this first blood as much as possible. If you see somebody diving at you, use as many relics and ults as you need. You cannot let a first blood be given up to Taco. 4 minutes in, still 0-0, but you can't let that make you think this is a even game. Cherry Blossoms already 1,000 up. Looks to be largely in the duo lane right now. Jing Chen ulting Khepri. Khepri is probably going to have to ult himself here.
Dangerous.
Yep, there it goes. Procs.
There it is.
Oh, if they catch the
Will
dash.
he get out?
No
Not
dash.
quite. And that is first blood for free bowling.
And they pick up the second. 2 for the road. But Musi gets the return kill. Cherry Blossoms find first blood pay dirt in the duo lane and get off to a 2-1 start for a 1,700 gold lead here at the 5-minute mark. Yeah, I mean, that's the thing about... Ooh, nice Scotty ult. If she knew where Morrigan was, that could have been dangerous. But that's a good thing about Morrigan.
Mm-hmm.
If you're unpredictable with your pathing, you're safe. It's only low-key players who walk in a straight line after going invis who die.
Yep.
Chalk and
taking
Robin,
quite a bit of poke, but it's Ravana, so it doesn't last very long.
like 200 HP. That's not really...
Right.
It's not really a
Oh,
problem.
but keeps taking poke. Nice
Here comes
trading
Kabrakan.
here.
1, 2, 3 autos, and
There
that
we
will do
go.
the trick for
And a
Musi.
kill in duo as well.
Hey, you get haste when you proc your 1 on Kabrakan. It's okay to keep swinging like that. And also, Potter falling once again in the duo lane to this Newt in Ao Kwang. Ao Kwang going past the tower in duo lane. Newt tower diving, maybe thinking that Ao Kwang was going to go with, but Ao Kwang lurking in the jungle doesn't hit the dragons there. The dragons miss, gets hit by the Chevalanque ult, doesn't know where he's going now. I don't think he's too scared of a Khepri, though.
No.
6.5 minutes in. The gold lead is not getting too crazy. It was a scary minute there. I think a lot of good came out of Musi getting those 2 kills. Plus, at the end of the day, if your support's the one who's behind and it's a Khepri whose sole purpose is to ult and they still have ult, it's fine.
Right.
The problem is we have a Sogno who's level 9. It's a little scary. Still equal level. It's been absolutely even in this solo lane. Chalk and Ravana only separated by about 50 gold and about 50 HP. A lot of poke for Chalk here, but whenever something good happens for a solo laner, a jungler is nearby. Chalk ult, jumped by Robin, execute, and Chalk
Into
goes
the
up
air. Ooh.
and down. Kabrakan going straight at Scotty. That's Scotty beads, Ice Patch, and ult. You're going to hear that combo many times. And Taco turns into Ninja. But it's the ult on her. That's hilarious. I think Taco's just memeing. That's hilarious. 8 minutes into this game. 1,500 gold lead for the Cherry Blossoms. Nothing too crazy. Lots of wards placed on the map. Cherry Blossoms prioritizing the Fire Giant side of the map. Sandstorm maybe setting up for a Gold Fury.
There's a lot of Sandstorm on the right side of the map.
They do start up this Bull Demon King.
As Xbalanque is being chased into their tier 2.
Yeah, 3 members invading, and Potter is not going to be enough to 2v3 to get your purple camp secured. And Xbalanque is going to have to dash away from Alquang. Alquang keeping him
We're going
in
for
that
a
tunnel line.
9-minute Gold Fury right now.
Taco is nearby at level 11. Kabrakan gets ice patched and starts to tremor. Jingchen throws Khepri against the wall. That's
Nice.
Jingchen ult down. It pauses the fight for a minute, but doesn't really get too much done. Ao Kwang runs straight into Musi and takes her into the sky. Khepri ults himself. It gets procced, but he's still surrounded by 3 very, very unfriendly faces and falls anyway. All Khepri ults have been on himself so far, as the Cherry Blossoms will start up the Gold Fury. Look at all these Sandstorm wards around the Gold Fury. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 wards, 8 wards, but they don't get it.
That is a Morgan going deep into the jungle there for that pen camp.
8 wards around an objective that you do not get is a heavy, heavy price to pay.
It is tragic. It's hard to see, honestly.
And no Chalice of the Oracles, too. That was all natural.
And look at
Taco
that. That was...
says, hey, I've been liking those Ao Kwang ults. I'm going to try that on for size.
Yeah. Let me use one. Thanks for the Ao Kwang ult.
10 minutes into this game. Nice gold lead off of that Fury. You can definitely tell where that happened. And we have a 3-level lead off of the ADC, 2-level lead on support, 3-level lead in mid for the Sandstorm. Everybody else is even. Looking at builds, do you think Doom Orb is good? Yeah, that's not getting patched anytime soon.
Yeah, I'm not a mid laner, but I can tell that I should be building Doom Orb if...
Well, to be fair, 2 of those are junglers. As we see Robin and Shock fighting once again. It just feels like whoever gets a poke lead in solo gets ganked by the enemy jungler, though. Khepri thrown around in this jungle. Nothing really up on the map to do after this BDK by the Sandstorm. 3 members. Man, they are really not fans of the Xbalanque. They have been hanging around. They are the anti-warlords in their gank patterns. Robin, not deterred by the Kabrakan ult, jumps out. No kills for the Sandstorm off of that gank. And Robin's still going to run straight back into this. Goes, Kabrakan's not going to cancel that back. But Shock will cancel Tip Top Journeyman with that combo. Good job, Jupe Jupe. Here's a Jing Chen at full health. Not sure if Chalk is going to be able to get out of this one.
Ooh, that is a scary situation. Will Chalk do Chalk things?
Chalk does have the slow aura around him, but that knock-up, ult-up combo will get the job done. Newt's up in the sky here, but there are three members down, taking a note out of the Cherry Blossoms. Oh, they don't land the root. 4 members. You know, if 8 wards isn't enough to get a lead on this side of the map, 4-man gank might do the job. 7-5. 2k gold lead for the Cherry Blossom. Sandstorm have managed the gold lead pretty well here so far. Into the day, though, I am very, very concerned about the Sandstorm's ability to manage a crit Newt, especially considering it's just the most fed characters on the Sandstorm are squishy. So a crit enemy is going to be very impactful. Robin ults over the wall.
Oh, yeah.
Blink ult from Chalk sends Tip Top Journeyman to the grave.
No,
And
over
once
this
again,
last
I have
couple
never seen
minutes.
so many
Oh.
3-man ganks onto a duo lane from both sides. What have these ADCs done? Have they been DMing some mobs in between these sets? Oh my goodness, and that is another kill. But the
They're
Sandstorm
getting
get the
abused.
BDK.
You know, I think I would take that BDK any day of the week.
Yeah, BDK for an ADC with how many wards have been
Not-
placed this game?
Not a bad. Ooh, that's a huge rotation over and to the left.
Yep, teleport is a fun and interactive mechanic, and there has not been enough ganks in the duo lane. Nuke ult goes up. Kabrakan and Scotty 1v1ing. Kabrakan ice skating there as Ao Kwang uses the ult on Nuke, but she was above threshold, sent to the great beyond now. Ao Kwang gets Moosey. Jing Chen is going to have to jump away here. Sticks around. Might stick around too long. Chalk is 1v3ing. Will get taken down. Scopy is having a absolutely fantastic game on this Ao Kwang. 7-1-2.
That Xing Qin got away with murder there. That is Xing Qin HP 5.
Oh, Morgan's
Yes,
going
right
straight
there.
in! Taco's going straight in!
Oh
but they
my
all-
God.
Oh, great Khepri ult.
Huge Khepri ult. Oh
Khepri.
my, that was incredible.
And Tess gets the follow-up kill. The first, I think that's the first Khepri ult that we've seen that hasn't been on himself because he's been getting ran at by the Cherry Blossoms. And it is immaculate. Morgan with the guts to go in 1v3 there for the damage. Ao Kwang has some invisibility as well, though, sticking around with the Robin. They don't have any secure for this. Morgan spots out the Robin, goes back for the Gold Fury. Khepri almost falls to it. And that is anticlimactic as all get out. Oh my goodness.
Ooh.
I have never
Don't
seen something.
quite have the damage. Yeah, that is rough. Oh no. Thought you were safe. He was
He got
not.
cooked. I'm sorry, that might have been one of the lazier backs we have seen in a while, Potter. You saw 3 people around the Gold Fury. You got to go further back than right here.
Oh yeah. But you know what? A good lazy back is always so tempting.
It really is. Let's take a look at net worth. I'm curious. Yeah, like I said, Taco's always on top of that net worth column.
Mm-hmm. That is a gank down into the left.
It's a gank, but it's an invade from Kabrakan. Ult comes out. Jing Chen puts him
Big
in the
ult.
blender, throwing him back into his ult. A2 Kabrakan walls as now Khepri, there's an Ao Kwang. Khepri, there's an Ao Kwang! Gets a good ult, but can't take him far enough away. Kabrakan is going to get ran down. And sent out into the
quite
great
able to
blue
out.
sky. 8-1-2 for Scopy.
And that is, they are under a tower over there on the right. And that is a kill for Taco.
Death, taxes, and Ao Kwang executing somebody. I swear that has been 75% of the kills this game. It's just been Ao Kwang kills. Either Ao
Probably.
Kwang or that's at least 2 on the Morgan. That is 10 out of the 22 kills at least have been like Ao Kwang ults. As the Cherry Blossoms are able to get this Gold Fury. 13-9, 17-minute mark. The gold lead, it keeps looking like it'll get out of hand in the favor of the Cherry Blossoms, but this is why it's not. Taco
Pyromancer
is a
getting
silly,
pinged out.
silly, goofy man. Level 18 right now. There is a beacon to fight over here. Ao Kwang's invis, but he gave himself away here. It is now a 4v3. The Sandstorm have numbers. Kabrakan can put up a good wall here. At least force a Robin ult or something. Robin gets abducted. Some good autos.
Nice,
Robin ult goes
Kraken
down.
ult.
Nice. Khepri sent into the tower. Sent to the grave. Ninja. First kill of the game.
That
Ninja
is-
has not died yet. I know I
that is
talked
a
about
full
Kabrakan
team
being good
rotation.
against a Scotty. Ninja has not died. What a time to be alive. 18 minutes into this game, Chalk goes straight in. Jupe gets a penta ult. And now Cabrakan is going to tremble, and Tip Top shaking in his boots. And Cabrakan is going straight after Newt, who flies up into the air. Morgan, Ao Kwang ulted. Newt comes back down. Cabrakan's on the backliners, but the backline has turned around, and Sogno gets Moosey. And now Chalk is in a 1v1 against who else? Scopey. Unstoppable. Trash,
Crazy
that is a big talk for somebody who did 12k damage last game. I love you, though.
Trash talks big, but at the end of the day, he is still trash.
Damn, personally, I want to take that. You gonna let him talk to you like this, Trash? After chat about to pop off tonight.
It's in the name, man. Can't deny it.
Kepri, I like the idea of stalling out waves, but this is a level 17 Newt. Might need to give up the tower at this point. $19 in game one. About a 2,700 gold lead for the Cherry Blossoms as they pick up the first Pyromancer of the game. And look at how many wards they have in pocket.
So many. They are that is a fire giant setting up whatchamacallit.
So true, Jimmy. So true. As we see, Newt is caught out by Cabrakan. The combo goes off. That is Newt B. No, Newt didn't beat there. Just the ult after the end of the CC. Gets a good knockup. Cabrakan, ult. Sogno, gone. Robin is put into the blender here. Robin has ult. He's probably going to have to use it here to get away from Chalk ult. Scotty's at level
Scotty
16.
in danger.
Oh, Taco
Scotty
turned
is
into
dead.
Robin. That is disgusting. Absolutely disgusting, Taco. I love this man.
Successful fire giant defense right there.
But more than a defense, they could start it right now.
Yeah, absolutely. And they are, as the Xing Qin and Ao Kwang sneaking in from behind.
There's no way they spot out the
Ao Kwang
in
is
time.
10-1 right now, mind you. Level 20.
Hey, you take 10-2 if you're able to stop this fire giant. Oh, Ao Kwang gets spotted. He's had 100 health. Taco gets the shutdown on Scopey. And Shebalage gets ulted by Kepri.
Oh, just what they needed.
Oh, this is just what the doctor
Xing Qin,
ordered.
This
Oh my
is what
goodness.
the Sandstorm ordered.
Put some fries in the bag. They're getting this fire giant to go. Killing spree.
Crazy defense there.
Oh. Okay,
Taco going down,
talk
though.
about fries in the bag. Taco bit off a bit more of that burger than he could chew there, getting shut down after that. And here comes Scotty and Newt. Uh-oh. Cabrakan gets a good ult here. Tremor, beads from the Newt. Will they be able to disengage? They do, but that is Fire Giant on 4 members of the Sandstorm. And that's what a shutdown plus a Fire Giant will do. Yeah, that'll do it. But you know how you get that lead back? This would be very nice to at least help defend against this Fire Giant push. It is only 21 minutes in. Here comes Chevalanque. One auto bounce, and this will secure. Nope.
Not quite.
Oh, Xing Chen.
Xing Chen
Xing Chen, baby.
caught
What
out,
are you
though.
doing? You got HP 5, but you don't got defenses like that, buddy.
He's trying to give him the runaround, but not quite enough.
They did get a Cabrakan blink out of it. Here comes Jupe doing what she's wanted to do all game. Hold down left click on a tower. Her inner ADC coming out right now. They do have Oni waves to help stall this out. But the problem with that is you got a lot of people pushing out with those Oni waves who could get caught. 3v2 in this mid lane. Scotty gets onto Chevalanque, does 200 damage to him, maybe. Defends the tower though.
Sandstorm
18-16.
with that fire giant defense were able to turn this around quite a bit. Almost coming back on the gold lead. What was it, 2,700 before, and now we're up to only 1,800, something
The
like
gold
that?
lead was never massive. It was only maxing out under 3K, I think. But the bad news for the Sandstorm is the enemy team has a Spartan flag. They do not have a starter upgrade on their support.
Not quite yet. Still 2 levels away, and getting that heroism on would be absolutely huge for the Sandstorm.
It's going to hit like crack for sure. Pyromancer called out by the Sandstorm. Alquang lurking around. Cabrakan has been putting in work this game. Chalk 1v4ing on the beacon as they get the Pyromancer. Chalk tips his hat and says, I did my job. Pyro for a beacon? I think you're okay with that.
Not a bad trade.
As long as you can get 2 or 3 to set up a big push later. 3 towers to 3 towers right now. 1 away from a Lord of the Rings novel.
Buff.
24 minutes in. Looking at some of these builds, I really like the anti-crit pickup here from Khepri along with the early cooldown. I think this is a very solid build. Beads is I don't think Beads deserves as much hate, especially against this team, as you might think. You can't Khepri ult if you're dead. Problem is, if you're Khepri, Beadsing, and Alquang, and you're level 13, and you're below execute threshold to the point where you need to Beads, you're probably going to die anyway. Good news is you can Beads the Jing Channel that is getting you below execute threshold in the first place. I don't mind the beads pick up by Potter at all here. I think the Cloak of the Magi could go even harder, though, as Cabrakan is sending a message, fanning the face of Alquang with his big ol' arms there.
I do like this Khepri's build right now, just making sure, hey, try not as much as friggin' possible to let that nut do nut things.
Yeah.
That's Spectral in there.
I gotta say, there comes a point where you look at how many wards somebody plays and you go, Chalice of the Oracle might have been a good play. Like on free bowling, Chalice of the Oracle might have been good. Of course, late game is when you want to sell it, so you have spots open for Pyro, Sentry wards, and etc.
You know, I can't tell if this free bowling is a support main, but looking at that wards placed kind of makes me think,
Good gank. Musi caught out here. I think it's too late in the game to just be pushing up a wave by yourself. Musi pays the price. And you can't 4v5 now. You kind of have to disengage. Jing Chen picks up 2 for the road into the Robin ult, into Khepri's demise. Sogno's on a killing spree, 7, 3, and 5. An absolute amazing combo. You do not see a Robin ulting off the end of a Jing Chen ult very often. That was a beautiful sight. Absolutely stunning. I don't know why they're not just starting up the Fire Giant. Well, they do have Scopey down. I guess this makes sense, but they do start it up here. Chalk and Morgan are nearby.
And they don't have their jungler to help zone.
It's at half health.
Deal damage.
Chalk ult's still down. Could always have Morgan turn into Chalk, though. Oh, Morgan turns into Chalk! Oh my gosh!
Oh my gosh.
Taco reads my mind! But then both Chalks are caught in a little bit of trouble here with the Newt. Disengaging. A lot of ults used there. The Fire Giant back to full health. I swear everything I've Taco is Taco in our comms right now? Let me check the Discord call. This isn't even on low delay spectator mode. We're behind right now. Robin gets abducted. Ult comes out. Dot damage. Gets him. Alquang also gets silenced forever by the Taco Jupe combo. Isn't that something we've all heard before? And this is going to be a Fire Giant call after 2 members of the Cherry Blossoms are picked out. And Morgan going for it. Mid laner. You mean jungle. Taco lurking. Fire Giant.
The
have
Sandstorm has been very steadily closing this gold lead right now, and this is their second Fire Giant as well.
Uh-oh. This is Taco. I think Taco should just back off here. You think I want to be in a comm and casting at the same time? I would actually rather shoot myself than have to have that kind of sensory overload.
Oh god, that'd be a nightmare.
Yeah. Mr. One Eardrum? Yeah, fat chance. As we see 28.5 minutes in, they are going to push this down. Please don't use a Pyrobomb here. Thank you. Only 2 towers trademark left for this Cherry Blossoms team. Yeah, I said sensory overlord instead of overload. Yeah, sue me. As we see Jing Chen trying to set up an ult here, but his teammates kind of... Okay, he gets the Chalk. Chalk treats it as a free blink, motherfucker! And then walks away.
Just gonna get a heal off and be ready to kind of jump into the next team fight.
Yeah, Sandstorm got exactly what they wanted. 2 towers for the road, and then reset.
And that is now a Sandstorm gold lead by a substantial amount.
Gold lead.
It was neck and neck just recently.
At this point, ever since the 22-minute mark, this gold lead didn't really matter. This was the last time it really mattered. I mean, it's kind of... Good news is, you got a heroism now. Always fantastic. And what? Potter got a
Magi's
cloak? I don't think I've ever seen him get one of those. We gotta check this Discord call right now, Chimmy. Right now.
He wants to be able to walk around free.
I am seeing straight into the future with some of these predictions, man. Oh my goodness. Oh my goodness. I prayed for days like these. Supports getting Magi's cloak when the other team is Jing Chen ulting them every 3 seconds. A beautiful sight. And also a Primal Fury. Newt ulting for emphasis. Gets a little bit of damage on Cabrakan, but now the whole team knows where she is. Running away.
Sandstorm just going through the map, taking all these towers, making sure that they are able to push into each of these Phoenixes as they like.
They still got 2 power bombs
The
too.
Taco going mid.
Yeah, we're going to take a little bit of a look at that. I think he's mostly just trying to draw their attention to split their forces so they can double Pyro Bomb. The most important Phoenix, duo lane. They get some good autos on it, but back off. And Taco gets Scopey. Scopey left the base.
Scopey has not been able to play the game for quite a while now after having a huge lead.
Started off like 10-2 or 9-2.
I think it
Taco
was
has
10-1.
Since Moosey kills Ninja as well. Yeah, the fall off of Ao Kwang late has been hitting. Cabrakan gets a good
That was
trimmer.
a great Khepri pull. Great Khepri pull.
Haha, the classic. It's not a Worm League set without somebody pyro bombing after the Phoenix is already dead. And they're going to go straight for the Titan now with only 2 defenders of the Cherry
They're
Blossoms.
saying, we're taking this. We need it. We want it. They're hungry.
Nom nom
Will they
nom,
get it?
like a Jetful. They're hungry for more, and they get the
Oh,
Titan.
and that is a Sandstorm win. That was a crazy close game for quite a while.
22-20. 31 and 50 seconds. Sandstorm get W in game 1 of this best of 3. All right, let's take a little bit, make sure we get both screens. Kowalski, analysis. Wards, good. I don't have a problem with anybody's wards. This early game, absolutely fantastic. Did it hit 12k player damage? It fell off a cliff. It fell off a cliff. And that's because of what I mentioned at the beginning of the game. Cabrakan and an invisible Morrigan can stun and kill in Ao Kwang whenever they so choose in the late game.
Absolutely.
The Jing Chen, I liked it. Do it again. Very fun. Very nice.
Yeah, Xing Chen, great
Jing Chen,
support.
yeah, Ao Kwang was never the one doing a lot of the damage, always securing, but securing has so much value, especially when the other team is running Kepri. Chalk, very good. Do again. Jupiter, nice job. And then, oh my goodness, Taco.
Scary.
The Morrigan. This is why at the beginning of the season, my pregame card for Taco was do not let him get Morrigan. This is one of the quieter sets on a Morrigan Taco. And it was 9, 2, and 5 and top damage almost in the whole lobby. Sogno, fantastic. I really like this Newt. I think Sogno can play pretty much any ADC though. Oh my goodness, we're going to see something in game 2. I think that I predicted going into this set that whoever won was probably going to 2-0 just because the mental of these 4 and 5 seeds are probably not the best considering whoever wins game 1 goes, well, if we win, we're just going to face the Knights anyway. So we're going to see. We're going to see if the Cherry Blossoms are going to be able to come back from that game 1. They got some pressure early, but that gold lead never eclipsed. I don't think they even got to a 4K gold lead at any point in this game. I would like to see more early emphasis on the BDKs. The Sandstorm were basically able to get every single one of those for free, while the Cherry Blossoms were 3-man, 4-man rotating to Tess. The Sandstorm were studying the blade and BDK and securing basically every BDK in the game.
Mm-hmm. Don't underestimate the power of a good BDK if you can keep the enemy's wards off the map for that long.
Especially
You
with
can
how
set
many
yourself up for
early,
quite a lot of success.
a lot of early wards placed too.
Mm-hmm.
So I think BDKs have a lot of value. Oh, what a time to be alive. This is the second out of 7 total sets of this postseason. We're going to try to cast... we're going to try to cast all of them. The first round ones are obviously the most of them, so kind of hard to cast all of them. But considering how they got split up to this weekend to some other time, I think we'll actually be able to accomplish that goal of casting every single set.
We might be able to.
Yeah. Thanks for casting with me as we go into game 2 here
Of
any
course.
minute now. They're in the lobby.
Now, who do you think deserves to get banned out in this next game? Anybody? Because I don't know if I was seeing a clear standout. Maybe the Ao Kwang, just because of all those that kill securing that was so impactful
I think
in the
that I
early
would
part of the
like to
game.
ban Ao Kwang simply for the fact that secures are good, and my support has played Kepri 6 out of the last 7 games.
True.
Sandstorm won game 1. I think that the problem with banning the Morrigan is Morgan Le Fay is there.
Mm-hmm.
Nuwa is there. Iset is there.
Mm-hmm.
I might ban it anyway. Honestly, that's the number 1 god I don't want to see him on.
Almost
That's
makes
why he's MVP
banning
runner-up.
Taco just pick your poison.
Poison,
Right?
flame,
What
knife in the
poison
back,
do I think I can
gunshot,
survive?
firing squad, crushed by boulders, suffocation, drowning, all have a taco
Good lord.
scent. All are signed off by Taco. Taco can kill you basically any number of ways. There's a reason MVP runner-up.
Absolutely.
Worm, I hate to break it to you, 0 people submitted a bracket with the Vanguard winning that set. Everybody has a... Let me see. Did anybody... Let me check. Let me check all the brackets here real quick. Funny enough, the only person who doesn't have an absolutely perfect bracket right now, Worm, is you. Sorry, bro. I think this game, this set in particular, is definitely one where people had a lot of different perceptions on how it was going to turn out, seeing how it was the 4v5 seed. Okay, Rama and Aphrodite ban. Morgan and Morgan. Somebody said ban Morgan. Somebody said which one? I can't hear the difference. And they said yes, both of them. Don't blame them.
Absolutely. Now, what do you think about this Afro ban?
I
I know
wouldn't.
Ninja plays.
I wouldn't.
Yeah, I know Ninja plays Afro,
I
right?
wouldn't.
And I think Ninja plays a solid Afro, but not
I wouldn't.
necessarily a winning
I wouldn't.
Afro.
I wouldn't.
Yeah.
Here's the thing. I would ban some ninja picks. It wouldn't be Afro.
You gotta the Afro
I
mid
want some of her
lane is
other picks.
accomplishable by very few. I
Yeah.
want to say.
I think the Afro support is honestly the more annoying variation
Absolutely.
of it.
I'm a huge fan. I love an Afro support. I think it's terrible and I hate it and I love it. You never die and it's just silly.
I would like to get Nuwa off the board unless I'm picking it for my team.
But they go with the E set.
That is 3
It
taco
is
bans.
valid, you know?
Here's the
Valid.
thing. Here's the thing. I hate top picking Kepri. I hate it. The problem is the other team has banned 3 taco picks. I don't think they're going to ban or take Kepri. You can top pick a more contested pick and still get Kepri for Potter later in the draft. I just don't see the benefit of showing your hand and letting the other team pick something that counters Kepri, something that can block his dash, has an execute, anything like has an execute. Achilles. Why would you top pick
And
Kepri?
there it is.
Why would you top pick Kepri? I don't understand. I don't understand top picking it. It like getting Potter on something comfortable. Yes, I agree. Absolutely. Don't top pick it. At least make the other team think, oh, what if we pick and execute and then he doesn't go Kepri? At least put that doubt in the back of their mind. He has a good Ymir. Ymir is fantastic against Achilles. At least make them think about that.
Yep. And as well as a Geb, though, I don't know if I would pick a Geb.
I want to pick a Geb, but it's better than Kepri into an Achilles. But like Ymir, you just wall off an Achilles ult. You freeze him mid combo. He doesn't get a second. Like, at least put the threat of that in their mind. Take Nuwa for Ninja so Taco can't pick it.
Yep.
Lancelot for Musi. Something contested, not a support.
Top picking supports. It really depends upon the support. Really depends. There's some supports where I think it's fine.
There's very few uncounterable supports. There's very few uncounterable supports, in my opinion. Serket and Chevalanque. Okay. I like Musi Serket a lot, and I think that Chevalanque is one of Tess's favorite picks.
What do you think of the chances of it being a tank Serket?
90.
That sounds.
I mean, what are we
right.
defining as tank? Like a single tank item? I think a single tank item is very likely.
I'd say more than 2 tank items.
Oh, more than 2? 30%.
Like including 2 though.
Okay, I thought you just meant like a single tank item, and I was like 90%.
No.
Multiple?
Oh,
I don't know.
yeah.
I don't know. She might go full. She's been going full damage on Serket more often. Kabrakan taking that away from Musi and Robin once again.
And
Man,
getting rid of a Scylla.
It's very easy to hit
Nothing
Achilles
law.
ults on somebody who's Kabrakan trimmered.
Do you think Ninja's gunning for the new wall?
You can just Nuwa ult out of a Kabrakan. You can just Nuwa ult away from an Achilles and Robin. I mean, I've seen worse ideas, yeah. You could mist to put some doubt in the mind of an Achilles who's about to execute. Does he still have execute target when you're in your mist? I think he might, actually. I don't know. I don't play execute gods very often.
I'm not an Achilles player either. Played him,
Yeah.
but I don't know if I'm a player.
You're a player, Jimmy. As we see second round of bans, Silaban and Medusa. Kukulin and Nuwa. Okay, interesting.
All right.
Banning away the Nuwa. Taco going, I'd rather take that away from you than even consider playing it. Benefit of having such a god pool as he does.
Mm-hmm. Now, now, do they take the taco Neath? Is that a thing?
I mean, I'm sure it's a thing, for sure. I'm sure. I'm sure.
Theoretically, yeah.
Now, do I want to Neath backflip and then get Robin Blink rooted? No.
Never.
Hachi and Herc. Oh. Oh, I
It's a
love me
shiny
a
Jupe Herc.
Hercules. I love a Hercules. I think he's one of the most
Yeah.
fun gods in the game. I know Ian is going to stab
Absolutely.
me in the back for saying that. Okay,
But
Nike Hubbard
Nike,
said. One of the most unfun
Instead of
gods in the
fun.
game. Unfun gods. One of the most boring, stupid. Is Worm still here?
is Worm in the audience? Can we continue berating Nike?
And Disco hovered as well.
Almost as if they were listening. They went back to the.
Disco has a lot of the same benefits as Nuwa into this enemy team with the Invis pool and also has a leap, so that's nice.
Circle of invisibility. And in a pretty strong ult, especially in those narrow corridors.
Yeah, I just think that Disco ults are likely going to hit a lot of Kabrakan walls. I can just feel it.
Mm-hmm. Wouldn't be surprised. And that's a Persephone being flashed. Will it be locked in? And it is.
All right.
For a brief
Switching
moment,
around.
the hesitation between the Achilles and Persephone swap made me think: is this a ninja Achilles in mid?
What?
That would have been crazy work.
Whoa? All right. Getting straight into game two here. I really
What do you
like
think
Sogno
about
on
these?
Hachiman. I think giving
Yeah,
Sogno mobility with the dash and the ult is really going to let him make some quick work in these team fights.
definitely. Well, now, what do you think about these
Oh, and
team
that's very
comps here?
clearly a
Who do
comfort
you
pick
like
for
it better?
Sogno too. Oh my god, 8 stars?
Oof.
Okay. Okay, buddy. I see. I see. All right, let's let everybody load in here. Okay, everybody's in. I think it's Scopy, Robin's. Well, yeah, there we go. Kabrakan support. Scopy going to jungle for this set. All right, there we go. Let's see if any of the builds change substantially here. Potter going Benny B again. Always like to see that, especially on a Kepri.
That is a Cabrakan support.
Yep.
I feel like that's not something we see much anymore.
Nope, because it's not very good usually. I think free
Yeah.
bowling will make it look good because free bowling is good. And I don't think he's a support main. And I think he'll make it look good because it's an aggro support who will be able to run straight at Potter and stun him out of its dash and stuff. But yeah, there's a reason you don't see it very often. Cabrakan it's not necessarily that it's horrible in support. It's just that it's better in another role. So
Right.
anytime you lock it in support, people are gonna be like, actually, didn't you know that Cabrakan's kit is more well suited for another role? You know, it's like same thing whenever you play any other half of basically
Yeah.
every other Guardian is horrible in support compared to another role. Let's be real. They hate us.
They do. Sometimes it's just matchups, right?
Yep. They love making Guardians for solo lane, that's for sure.
Oh yeah.
And once again, going War Flag. Like to see that. Both supports going 6 potions. I'm like,
Interesting.
I don't think we need that many, right? Like, surely instead of this last multi-pot, we could just have like a ward. I don't know. Maybe that's just me. I'm ward pilled early on with my start.
I same here. I can't. You know, if
I'm like,
especially if
you
you trust your solo
You
laner,
also
right,
have
to put in the
sustain
work.
with your starter, like.
Yeah, definitely out of benevolence as well, right? If you're able to get that stacked early, then you've kind of got all the sustain you need, really.
Here comes an early gank from Circuit. Blinks, taunts. Hachimon's ticking down. The time runs out. Testai gets the first blood.
Huge gank.
Absolutely immaculate for the... Let me switch that up. My bad, folks. Just so we don't miss anything. I always forget to do this.
This shit on pausing because your typing is just wild.
Yep. It's absolutely stupid.
Ugh.
There we go. Okay. We got everything. My bad, folks. Okay, we're good. Yeah, first blood over in the duo lane, but it didn't take a 4-man gank. Herc gets a good push, but doesn't have... Ooh! That's interesting. You don't normally see somebody use the combo like that. Take some good poke from Tip Top. Duo lane's getting feisty. Cabrakan's trimmering Shabalanke, but Hachimon is in trouble.
Nice.
Trouble in paradise. Kepri's sticking on him. Kepri auto kill. Kepri auto kill. Kepri!
Yeah. Going for the Cabrakan now. Now this is...
What?
Oh, this is
Potter!
tough.
Potter is cooking! Potter's cooking! Oh my god! Bro, lead forward, and meanwhile, Jupe getting a kill. This is a 4-1 start! They press down the gas pedal, and just like I said, sometimes after a close game 1, the team that wins gets off to such an amazing start in game 2, 5-1. There wasn't a kill for like 5 minutes in game 1. Oh my god. This might be very
exciting.
very bad.
Nice
for the
little
Cherry
root.
Blossoms.
Nice little bit of poke here. This is great.
Okay, deep breath. There's so many back camps to get here.
It's just farming season at the moment.
This is very, very dangerous. Uh-oh, double bounce! Auto, Jupe gets a kill. I love Hercules so much.
He is a very fun god.
And Achilles win a damage item first, so these Herc ults, you get a double bounce, that's going to be a kill. Every single time.
There's Sandstorm going for this BDK.
3.5 minutes. Okay, there we go. And Ninja's going in here. Does not land the ult. Shooters shoot. And Taco dies. I almost thought that was Ninja. I keep thinking Disco's Ninja. That's on me.
It's alright.
That's
It
Hachi
is a
dash
common
down.
ninja pick.
It really is. Oh, Kepri gives himself a
Oh
concussion
my
on that ball,
gosh.
missing the abduct. Here comes Kabrakin. Hachio comes out, lands.
Oh
every
turned it
auto.
around.
Do a full
Xbalanque be able to get out here. Looks like it.
Yep. Sandstorm not losing their composure in the duo lane at least. Here comes Serket.
Serket.
Hachimon has enough lifesteal to get back above half health here.
Nice blink.
Oh.
Beautiful blink. Not there it is.
I think that dot damage was going to get him anyway, but what a good play by the Serket here. And this is why it's only been played once all season. It gets banned.
And that is then
Oh, nice.
Sandstorm getting cleaned up.
What a time to be alive where both Moosey's Serket got let through and also a Ravana in any Worm League set got through.
Right.
thought that
Ravana
was a
being
good idea?
banned is almost as common as Ian Elephant being banned.
Literally.
Man, the number
5
of
minutes
bans that man has eaten.
So remember how I
For
said
one
it was
elephant.
really scary? 5 minutes in, 7-5, Gold's back to even. What?
There's a lot of trading happening over in duo lane.
Somebody got very. That's how easy the lead can fall, especially when you have that gold lead, but you haven't gotten any power spikes off of your items yet. You know, you got a
Right.
gauntlet, but you haven't gotten it stacked. Like you haven't bought the item yet because you haven't backed it. It can be a mirage. Or the other team can just be good. The other team can just be very good. And it's not an issue. Like the gold lead was getting up there for early in the game, but it was spread across everyone.
And
Serket's
Serket
getting a
going
bit
for the
overconfident
invade.
here. This is a
Very,
level 8 Robin.
very dangerous. Will Serket get out? Serket gets out because Serket.
Serket moment. Xbalanque gets rooted, dashes out.
Got Hachi very low.
Double
Kabrakin
stun from
coming in
Kabrakin.
after the Serket. Serket saying nope.
Xbalanque is now in a
Xbalanque,
1v3.
ooh.
Looks around. Sagno ult.
Trying to look for that Hachi and just struggling to get there. That the Hachi is
Ooh,
They-
heals back above the
they pick.
threshold. But
amazing.
Achilles
it
has
enough?
other abilities. Ooh,
Is
nice
it
push!
enough?
Nice push!
Is it
No!
enough?
No, what?
It wasn't enough.
Hercules.
Oh my
Jupe Jupe.
god.
That's why she's an all-star. Oh my goodness.
Hercules is just Jupe on Hercules.
I'm telling
good
you,
time.
that's why he's one of the most fun gods in the game. Somebody clip that. Somebody clip that. That was a beautiful thing. I only wish I could have gotten a better view of that. Oh my goodness.
Oh my.
I was not ready. Disco dashes through the Kabraki
Nice.
ball. And
Nice
there's some more
dash.
fighting going on over here. Hachimon. Kepri
Potter
taking damage.
getting the kill.
2, 1, and 2 for Potter here at the start of this game.
You know, Potter just needed a warm-up game apparently.
Yeah, you know, Potter's
That
a
was
little
it.
rusty on the Kepri.
Yeah, and then he got warmed up.
Yeah. Oh my gosh, that is one of the most clutch.
That was we had a
Hercules plays.
Serket moment, but that was a Herc moment.
I'm going.
beautiful.
You know, later, I want to pull up the match ID, go to that point, and just get a POV view of that clip.
A nice clean one, yeah.
Yeah. I want to see that again. Oh, Serket gets the taunt, but then Robin is here with 4 other members. Shooters shoot, gets some damage on Rob.
Bracken.
Oh my god.
Ooh.
Oh my god.
Ooh,
Lucy is gone.
deleted.
She's buying a defense item as we speak.
Jupiter coming in, cleaning up along with Taco right onto this Ravana. Come on, let's see him go down. Oh, it isn't. Potter.
Post-mortem shutdown from Potter with a 3-2-4.
Oh,
that is
my
a
goodness.
Lightning War stat line. 3, 2, and 4.
Beautiful. Potter's having a good game right now. This is fantastic too. Honestly, this Duo lane is very different from this game, and I love to see.
3 kills off of 1,800 damage. Amazing.
Support things.
Ooh, and Hercules, our girl Jupe Jupe, gets the invade off, and this is a 3-level lead in solo lane. And it's in Tip Top's been playing well, but that's all it takes in solo lane when there's not a lot of jungle interference is you lose that 1v1 by 1 auto, and it all comes crumbling down.
Absolutely. It's been a close solo lane, but it's just sometimes it's just the simple fact that you get edged out.
Axel, I don't want to hear about kill stealing. You still need to apologize to Pelly for season 2. Persephone going and getting abducted by Kepri here gets ulted by Disco. On low health here, one taunt will seal her fate. Ninja, gone. Yeah. Disco gets rooted in her little hiding place in a spot she knows full well. Jukes the Robin ult. That is a very aggressive Robin ult, but gets what he desired. A taco.
Dopey showing people why he should be feared right now.
Good Kepri ult.
Amazing.
See, that is a great Kepri ult. It's not just about the death threshold. It's about preventing damage a lot of the time. And the extra movement, that was fantastic. And Serket is still alive to this day. I can still hear her voice sometimes. All right. And meanwhile, Hachiman getting some pressure in on this tower.
Ooh, taking a nice little tower shot.
It was a love tap.
Yeah. You think that's gonna turn into an Aussie that on that Hachi?
Very likely. It looks like the typical
double lifesteal,
triple lifesteal build.
Yeah.
Usually not with a leather cow though. Isn't it normally with a death toll that you do that with? As we see a 2v3 over here.
Which I knew.
And Shebalanke are suddenly looking at the face of a
Nice.
Robin, and it's not a pretty one. It's a mean mug, but they're getting back to the... Oh, Shaket goes in on the Hachiman. Decides not to escape and pays the price. Both of their lives fall to Sogno. Jupe gets another blue camp invade. Achilles is caught up in XP, but man, she is a
Bracken
blue
coming
camp
in.
bandit this game. Double bounce. Below
That is a
threshold.
crazy
Healed up
Herc
above
ult.
the threshold. Herc 3, Herc 3.
Herc putting in the work.
Oh, shooters shoot! Taco uses the ult as a means to lull Achilles into a false sense of security. What a play!
He won't
still
stop
alive!
living!
I'm
He won't
still
stop
standing
living!
better
Oh my
than I
gosh.
ever did.
Oh my
Living like a
god.
true survivor. And she's still alive. What a... How do you kill
Going
this?
back to
Okay,
lane,
how
getting
much-
all the farm.
They have
she's
anti-heal. They
free
have
to do a
anti-heal.
heal.
They have anti-heal. How did she get away with this?
It is just not enough.
And there ain't
Oh,
no,
that is-
there ain't
that
no
is-
patches coming out. There ain't no patches. That's
Just
sad.
illegal Herc shit right there.
That is
Illegal
legal.
Herc shit.
Illegal.
That is
What a time
allowed
to
to
be
exist
alive.
in this game. Yeah.
Serket is going to solo the BDK.
This Herc, once again, will Jupe just survive this again and get kills again? Yes, that's exactly what happened. Okay.
Granted, that
All
was
right,
a 2v1, but okay. Public service announcement. If you or a loved one sees a Hercules at a quarter health, do not engage.
It is. Oh my gosh. Tip Top has to be so upset.
Oh my
right now. I
gosh,
would be.
she does it again! Oh my goodness. She's still going after it.
though.
Achilles had caught up within a level, and then Jupe just went back to 3 levels up again. This is just going to simply be known as the god damn it, we can't kill Juke Juke game.
Well, I want to see this damage mitigated right now. I want to see this damage mitigated because it might
That's
be
a first.
disgusting.
I don't know. I've
Oh,
heard that one.
okay.
Cherry Blossoms do get the Gold Fury, and Robin gets a nice double ult and takes down Potter. Potter with ult up, but got stunned out before he could use it. Ooh, Disco almost gets Cabrakan. Robin 1v1ing Shebelanke, but Shebelanke can hold down left click just as hard, but Scopey gets the kill. Moosey going for revenge. Gets poked out. Robin gets killed by the dot damage. And Moosey gets a triple kill.
Huge going for the Quadra. Huge Quadra.
Kill. Nice. And Moosey just went from 3-3-5 to 7-3-5. That'll do the trick. And all of a sudden, the Sandstorm, the gold diff keeps going up and down, up and even, up. Somebody's about to go and give them all that gold back. I can just feel it. Who's it going to be?
Cherry Blossoms are they're
Achilles.
trying to
Achilles no
match
mana.
and meet up and down.
This will help. This is how you make those gold leads from kills more substantial. If the Cabrakan doesn't steal it, Cabrakan's going to walk up and get taunted away. And the Sandstorm are able to secure the Pyromancer, and it is picked up by a non-mage. Truly the best timeline.
First one of the game, is that right? Yeah.
Well, it is the 15-minute mark, so.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
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 Yeah. Yeah.
Game's moving lightning fast.
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, 35 kills in 15 minutes. It is a high-paced game as the Cherry Blossoms. Robin does steal the purple camp there. And now Cabrakan's lower level than Potter right now. Potter has enjoyed a nice little lead. Ooh, that's Kepri dash down. If they can root him, they do not. He gets back to his tower and he is A-okay. Man, if you thought Herc was unkillable before, just wait till he has a Kepri near him. As we see Hachiman ults away, shoot, hits the Robin. Been going after Robin quite a bit with that Disco ult. Robin is at quarter health. Oh, they do hit the Disco 2 on Hachi, but nobody else. Kepri ults himself. Serket goes in for the taunt. 2 taunts. 2 kills.
Cleaning it up, trying to... Oh, will they be able to get to third?
Double kill, killing spree for Taco. A lot of execute thresholds, body blocked by either Disco or Herc there. Hercule comes out the baseball, and that is a killing spree for multiple members of the Sandstorm as they get 4 members of the Cherry Blossoms down. No Gold Fury to go after, so they're just going to back on out of here. A nice, not a whole lot happened there with the gold until they go and get something off of it. But the problem is, Gold Fury's down. Pyro is down. And it's 17 minutes, so I don't know if they're going to go for a Fire Giant.
Yeah, it's, if they would have gone for the Fire Giant, they would have to be at it right now.
I definitely didn't forget to do that. Anyway. Taco enjoying a 4-level lead on Ninja right now.
They're looking to put some pressure on this left side of the map, hopefully get the Stygian and the Gold Fury.
Gold Fury is coming up soon. 4-level lead, 2 levels down in ADC, basically even here, 2-level lead in solo. 7-2-5 for Juke Juke.
That is Serket going in on the Hachi on the left side of the map. Will it be enough?
Ooh, might
help
need to get a
secure this
Capriole here.
Gold
Great
Fury.
Capriole.
Nice
Get the abduct.
Capriole.
Oh, Hachi gets ult off. Not able to get him, but they
Not
do
quite.
get the Stygie B. Hercules taking a lot of damage here after that Persephone ult. Gets a good ult. It's going to clip only Cabrakan.
Achilles is coming in from behind to pinch them out.
Nice. Juke gets a kill. Cabrakan's low. 1, 2 kills. That's Persephone, Beads, and Aegis, and I have a feeling Pluck is coming shortly.
This Hercules needs to be stopped, but I don't know if it's a possibility.
Kill. Oh, Herc might be going for more. Oh my goodness. Could this be? Oh, if it's soon enough. Oh, it might have been too long for more of a kill streak. Looks like a disengage. Blink Pluck does not land. They could get this tower, though. They're going after Hachiman instead. Herc is taking a lot of damage. This is a... Well, they do get the Hachiman. That's the good news. Bad news.
Achilles, I think, is poisoned. Don't think it's quite enough, though.
Bad news is the one thing Herc can't do is kill a tower by himself. I think they took too much damage here. Robin might be able to turn something. Robin ult comes out.
Quarter
does
health.
Get onked. He does
Will
get
it?
onked. Herc falls! Herc falls!
Shut down. Huge
goes
shut
Hercules.
down.
Shut down onto Achilles, who is now back within 2 levels. Yeah, they went for a kill under Phoenix instead of taking out this. And just like that, Cherry Blossoms are going to be the ones picking up the next objective.
The Herc finally had his limits tested. Jupe, she can't stay alive for that long. That Herc.
Yeah.
That's scary
Yeah,
stuff.
I think that was a really... I don't think killing Hachiman is worth not getting a tower or the Pyromancer and getting a shutdown given to the other teams. No.
And will Blossoms continue? They're able to pick something up from this, but will they be able to keep a little momentum here?
I mean, just like last game, the gold lead never really hit a horrendous mark. Anybody could still win this.
Absolutely.
It is at the point, 20 minutes in, almost 4, it's at like 3,500. One good fight, they pick up a Gold Fury or something, and this could blossom into a 7k lead and become untenable very quickly.
Mm-hmm.
But that requires not tower diving a Phoenix.
It's like Potter got Magi's again.
They have a Persephone. I don't mind that.
Yeah. Not at all.
I think maybe getting both the upgrades is a... I don't know. But I don't mind it.
No. And hopefully next thing will be a heroism.
Yep. Going to be a huge power spike as well.
Oh,
Serket
yeah.
going after Persephone lands. Let me check. Nothing. And we are going to disengage. And Achilles finally gets some payback on this tower. All T1s are now down. I do really like Musi on this Serket. 8-4 and 8. The
Absolutely.
taunts are amazing. Able to get in. Has done a good job of getting out this game too. I think that Serket is one of Musi's scariest gods. I never want to see it.
Agreed.
Kraken, you're not a jungle, so that's as much damage as you're going to do. That is in
Nobody
fact a
wants
support
to be.
Kabrakan build. Yeah, I like the Jing Chen better than support Kabrakan, to be honest.
Agreed. Yeah.
I think you just give the other team so much DR with the support Kabrakan, and you're not killing them. That I think going back to Jing Chen wasn't banned out. I think your team benefits just as much off of a Jing Chen as they did last game. I think it would have been nice.
Absolutely.
But support players love to just change their gods after it works well in a first game. For no reason.
Yep. We just want to show off and then cry afterwards because we didn't successfully show
After,
off.
you mean during? I'm always crying. Serket's going after Hachiman. This is a 4v3. Kraken's got to be careful. If they catch him out here, it's now
That
a
is
4v4.
a
Disco
heroism
is
proc
at
going
half.
off.
Disco at half. Does ult the Kraken. He's going to take a lot of damage here. Good job by Taco. Taco hitting late game Discordia numbers now as Scopey kills Tess way up by the tower. Persephone gets her dash off, and that is a boulder that gets
And
Aegis.
Nice, Aegis.
Oh, the very edge of the root lands. Kepri is on his sheet today. Potter. Woo-hoo! I'm telling you, Potter leaned forward after game 1.
Mm-hmm.
This is the Potter you like to see for the Sandstorm.
Absolutely.
The difference between this and Game 1, Potter, is going to take you places. Achilles blinks onto
Gotta
her.
be paying attention.
Just in case. It's always better to use it than to lose it, as they say. They are going to be able to pick up this beacon, though. Disco does have her own passive. Hachiman is able... He didn't go Aussie, he went XE. Kins going a tank shred build. I think that might have been an adaptation, seeing how good the enemy Herc was doing. Valid. Very valid. Sagna went a crit build last game to counter the enemy squishies that were running that game. This game saw Jupe doing Jupe things and went Kins and XE. I like an ADC who can adapt builds depending on who's popping off for the other team. As we see, Herc is now running after Achilles after the blue camp invade. 24 minutes, almost 25. Gold lead, I can't pronounce that word. Basically nothing. Negligible? Negligible? Yeah. Ooh, root does not land. Kabrakin's going straight through.
And just Herc taking quite a bit of damage, but returning it.
Return to sender. Oh! Oh, Achilles just misses that time. It's so used to Herc dashing away. I don't think you needed to Kepriult the Herc, though. If anybody has shown the ability to live, it's her.
Absolutely.
They do get one kill on Scopey here. Oh, Kabrakin, you're in trouble. You're in trouble. Serket goes straight after. That's the Kabrakin shell down. Gets stunned on Serket. Serket beads, I think. Yes, Serket beads. Achilles is in trouble. Chevalanque autos are absolutely slapping at this point in the game. Hachimol comes out, and that's a double kill for Tess, who landed some very crisp autos there. They should be able to... I think they were at a point where they could have done Fire Giant there. They were definitely healthy enough. That's unfortunate. I definitely think they could have done that with 3 members of the Cherry Blossoms down. Just Ninja and a level 15 Kabrakin. I think they could have had, Herc tank, level 20 tank the Fire Giant. I think they could have had that. But they should still have the space for this. Problem is, now there's going to be a Robin nearby. If he can get to it. They do catch the Kabrakin. Kabrakin, I don't think that hurt the ult hit. Kabrakin gets
going. He's down.
Bye-bye.
Disco ult.
That was damage from the corrupted Bluestone. Robin's nearby. Can he get this? I don't think they see him. They see him, but they're not going to stop him. He's going to walk straight up to it and feel it. What? Woo! What? How? And he's going more. He wants more. Wendy's 4 for 4. He's fighting 4 of them. I don't know why. He needs to just get out.
Goal it.
Well, he gets sent back forcibly by Taco. That you have to have somebody watching for a Robin. He is the easiest person to just walk up. You try to stop him. He immunes it with a kickflip. He didn't even have to use that. He just walked straight up to it. That was...
Straight line. Oof.
That was almost a Japanese ninjas level of choking an objective. I'm sorry. That was bad by the Sandstorm. I couldn't even hype that up because I was like, there's no way they let this man just walk straight up to it.
And then he walked straight up to it.
I don't know, man. I don't know. I didn't hype it up.
Flabbergasted.
Like, then he got it. And I was what?
Forcing everyone to do their best Tim the Toolman Taylor impressions.
This is what makes games go longer than they have to.
Yep. Is letting Ravana's walk up to a Fire Giant and say, "Hello, mine."
I mean, it's a Robin who also has a Magi's Revenge. Like, you gotta know where he's at because you can't stop him. You can't stop him. You don't really have a whole lot of secure comparatively, right? It's just...
Yeah.
That was... How did that... You gotta just kill him. That was horrendous. They do have 2 power bombs to 1 along with the Fire Giant. I just... That really is just a punch in the gut to the Sandstorm. I mean, they still have the lead, though, but What is it?
Your
Gold lead at this
flabbers
point in the
were
game.
gasted so much that you ran out of them.
I'm gassed. Yeah. Aghast, gasted, flabbergasted, all of the above. Sandstorm have even the Pyro Bomb 2-2. Both of these are on a Kepri though, so if he falls and they're straight out of luck for a push, they will be able to get this Stigi B as well. Never mind. They're going for the tower. They only see a Persephone defending it. They do not see the 3 members nearby. Robin does not land the ult. He gets a lot of damage on the Xbalanque. He uses an Aegis with nobody nearby. Serket takes a lot of tower shots. A lot of tower shots. Hachiman ults. Serket is protected by the Kepri ult. Gonna go back over here. Herc is down.
Oof. Oof.
Herc down. 2 Pyro Bombs and Fire Giant on 3. They're gonna have to back. This tower is probably gone.
This game's, well, Cherry Blossoms are just simply closing the gap right now. After that Fire Giant steal,
Serket's nearby. Ooh,
did
good
she
taunt
go
onto
on?
the Kabrakan. Disco's really low in the back. Robin ults after the squishies. Good dash by Xbalanque to get out of that. Serket's going in on so many, but the only person with follow-up damage, well, never mind. That was enough. 1 for 1, getting Sogno, but Kepri is just going to be close enough that he falls as collateral. Only 2 members to defend here. 2 Pyro Bombs will do the job on this Phoenix for sure. No. Oh, double taunt. And sends an ult for emphasis.
Oh my
That's a
goodness.
double kill. And oh my goodness.
just
I thought that
turned
was a
that.
free Phoenix. I thought that was a free Phoenix, but I forgot. Taco is him. 10, 2, and 18.
Persephone, get out. Not quite.
Nope.
Taco just trying to say hello.
Oh, that's gonna
come
land.
back.
That's gonna land.
Oh,
That's her dash down as well. Here, another old Spirit
There
Deso
it
goes
is.
crazy. That's the alternate timeline. But there is no timeline in which you run away from Taco. Divine! Sublime! He's him!
oh my goodness! And going for the first Phoenix of the game, taking it.
Oh my goodness. I thought that was a free bird. You had 2 Pyro Bombs, only 2 people defending it. Nope.
And Sandstorm still have their 2.
Kepri's coming back up.
Yep, that is the problem, you know, the downside of having both of them on one person if he dies.
Yeah.
But they were able to get a Phoenix anyway. Oh my goodness. What a
Yeah.
play by Taco. Yeah, late game,
Absolutely
this
crazy.
build. It's top damage for a reason.
It's out for blood. That's what that build is.
The Cherry Blossoms do start up this Fire Giant. And look how behind in build this Kabrakan is.
I believe in Kabrakan supports,
I don't.
but sometimes it's just not gonna work. It really depends who
Save that
the
for
matchup
jungle,
is,
honestly. Fire
Yeah.
Giant started up here.
or mid if you're the Oracles and Azuli.
Bracken's nearby.
Just-
Along with Achilles. Fire Giant is nearing half health. Firewalls are up. Serket gets rooted. Robin already down here. That's good to get out. Herc Boulder does a double and does a number on Robin, who gets hit by Disco as well, and Jupe gets the kill. Fire Giant is low. They're going to disengage and go for some secure here. What a bloody fight. Hercules
Might be looking to pick up this Kabrakan right now.
Ooh, good. Good Persephone ult. Hercules is in trouble.
Oh.
Herc's in trouble. Achilles ult lands. Achilles finally is able to land and execute. And this is going nasty for the Sandstorm. Taco's still standing. As long as Taco's up, the Sandstorm have to be very careful here. Oh my goodness. Yeah, just gotta leave Kepri to die at this point if you're Disco. You have 3 members up. You do have your ADC. This is an EFG. Man, this is a hell of a game.
Absolutely. The Sandstorm have a substantial lead for most of the game, but it's just been neck and neck leading into the end game.
Fire Giant is going to be secured. EFG for the Cherry Blossoms. They are not going to wait for the Cabrakan, very likely. And that is up on 4 members. Man, 12-2 and 19. Oh my goodness.
Absolutely nasty work.
34 minutes into this game. It's going to come down to 2 chokes harder. There is 1 bird down for the Cherry Blossoms, 2 Pyro Bombs, but it's on the Khepri for the Sandstorm. There's another Pyro Bomb up as well. Serket is lurking in the jungle nearby. 1 bad fight and the Cherry Blossoms season is over. Pyromancer called. Serket! Oh, Serket! I don't know if you want to be doing this at this stage of the game. Yeah, back off. Their siege defense is so good with the disco, I think they should just wait out this EFG. They have full builds. They don't need to be pushing around the map for things, really. Everybody's at full build. Nothing else to get.
Except your 3k pot and please your wards.
Yeah, please do not defend a 50 health T2. Thank you. You see people do that sometimes. Robin might try to jump over this wall onto Disco if he spots her out. Who's going to jump first?
Great wards for the Sandstorm, but counter warded right now.
Robin's likely going to try to take out this solo lane tower real quick. Does get it.
Yep.
Sandstorm takes some poke on their Khepri.
That much health on your tower might as well not exist.
Yep.
He was just doing them a courtesy.
Ooh, Robin goes straight in. Does not land the root. Here comes Achilles. Disco ult bounces off the wall. Ping pong hits Hachiman, who Aegises it.
Bracken going down.
Persephone has to take it off the...
Followed by
collateral.
Achilles?
Oh, abduct on
Hachiman.
Achilles! Abduct on Achilles!
Ooh,
Sagno
but
gets the
no.
kill on Potter, but it's not going to matter
So
if
much
Hachiman
damage.
takes that boulder. Robin is dashing. Sagno dies to the redstone proc, and Taco is immortal! And that's another disco ult! It lands! Shooters shoot! And Ninja
my
dies!
God.
Decide!
That has to be game.
And once again, the only member of the Sandstorm who died was the one with both pyro bombs.
You know what? He was doing support things as he should.
That's why you try to split up
Taking
the pyro
one
bombs.
for the team.
That's why you try to split up the pyro bombs. They are going to be
Yeah.
able to get this. 37 minutes into this game. Nobody is coming for the Cherry Blossoms. And the Sandstorm are going to win 2-0 in advance to the semifinals.
Great game played by the Sandstorm and Cherry Blossoms. So
45,000
close.
damage from Disco.
So close for both teams, but Sandstorm just able to barely step out on top.
That was a fairly even set. That was a fairly even set.
It
You
was
could
the
definitely
kills
tell-
might not make it seem that way, but it was very close.
You can definitely tell that was a 4 seed versus a 5 seed. And you can definitely tell that this man finished second place in MVP voting.
Oh yeah, 45k disco game is
Second
it
highest
is
structure damage.
bonkers, dastardly.
9 wards too. Get yourself an MVP
Yep.
candidate who wards. You don't see that very often.
Not to mention that the shiny Jupiter Herc was disgusting through and
I
through.
cannot wait to watch those clips. Let me make sure I
Oh, my
get this
God.
for later. I cannot wait to see those clips back. Oh my goodness.
Yeah,
Juke
It
Juke
was
went
crazy,
off.
absolutely crazy.
All right.
My
Thank
goodness.
you
Well,
all for watching. Any
congratulations.
final thoughts, Chimmy Chaingun?
Not a whole lot I can say. I think it was just some amazing games here played by both teams. Like seriously, had no idea who was going to win for both games, right? Until it was just back and forth the entire time.
Yeah, there was very rarely a gold lead until the end of game 2. Even game 1, there wasn't really a gold lead even at the end. How do you feel about your first round matchup in your quarterfinals?
I'm feeling pretty good.
Yeah.
Feeling good. Feeling good about the whole thing, honestly.
The whole
Feeling
thing.
very good about the whole thing.
Shebang.
I'm of the mind that we will be playing in the finals.
Hoo-wee. You heard it here first, folks. All right. Thank you all for watching. That was the quarterfinal matchup between the Egyptian Sandstorm and the Japanese Cherry Blossoms. Sandstorm advanced 2-0. They will meet the Arthurian Knights, the number 1 seed, in the semifinals. Thank you for watching. Ciao, ciao.